Staying organized with your Google Drive. I'm going to cover a few of the basic tools that you can use to actually stay organized within your drive. We talked about how we could create folders earlier in a prior video and how you could move files to those folders. So today I'm going to focus on accessing files quickly, how you can star important files in folders, and then some of the search functions within the drive itself. So if I come over here on the left-hand side, I can actually see where I have my starred folder here. If I select my starred tab, I have no files or folders that have been starred yet. So I need to go up and do that. I'm going to go back up to my drive, and I'm going to highlight a couple folders and a couple files, and I'm going to show you how to star them. Let's say I had a folder called important stuff, and I had a bunch of different files in that. If I right click on my folder, I can come here and I can say add to starred. I can select that. Maybe I want the Google certification folder in there as well. I can right click on that. I can say add to starred. I can come down here to independent individual files, right click on them and say add to starred. I'm going to grab a couple more of these folders or files over here. I'm going to add that one to starred just to show you a couple of different examples. Right click on that and I'm going to add that to starred. So what that will do is the ones that I actually clicked on and I say add to starred, I can come over here and I can now select my starred heading, and that will show you that I've already added these two folders and these files to it. So it's a really nice way of organizing your recent important files or folders that you want to access quickly. Okay, that's the starred. That's one way of doing it. Another function is the priority tab. If we select the priority tab, it's going to open up a place called Workspaces. Under here, we can create a workspace. Now, workspace might be a project or something that you're working on. So we can rename this. I'm going to name this Project Tech. And I'm going to say create. When I create my workspace that I want, it's going to give me the option of adding files. So I can add up to 25 files within this little workspace that I've created. If we come down here, we can say choose files. It opens up another window on the side here. So I can come down here from my recent and I can just start selecting the files that I want to actually load into this workspace. I'm going to select Rick's test. I'm going to say insert. I'm going to go back to adding more files here. And I'm going to take a look at my starred area because I remember that, hey, those were my important files that I wanted in there as well. Now you can't add folders to your workspace, but you can add files. So let's say I want to add this Carnival one. I can say insert. That's a template. I can go back to add files again. I can select more of my starred files that I remember. Here's another file I could add. I'm going to hold my click or my control button down and I can actually select more than one file at a time and then just say insert. And we're going to see those files come into my workspace here. So when I say done, I've just created a project workspace, and these are some of my common files. Now, you could use that maybe for a lesson that you're working on that you want to add all your files from shared people or from other locations within your Google Drive. Just a quick reference on where you can get all files in one place for an area that you need to work on. The last thing I wanted to show you today was actually working within the search part of it. If I go back up to my drive here and I can select search. Now you can just type in a search box. So I want to say power. I'm going to type in power as an example. And I did it this way because I wanted you to see that not only do you get files and folders that will contain that, but you'll also have email addresses of folks that are in here if that's within the search description that you're adding here. So here's where I could come down with that search box, and here's PowerSchool. There's a JPEG. It's going to search your shared areas. It's going to search all over your Google Drive and different components of it. Another aspect of this search on the drive I wanted to show you here was there's an advanced search under here. So when you select the advanced search, you can select like a type. What do I want? Do I want photos, documents? So it's kind of like a format type you could look for if you wanted. You can search by owner. There's just a bunch of different parameters that you can select here in order to streamline your advanced search that you want. Talks about dates modified. You can put an item name in. So there's just a lot of different features within the search that if you really want to set some guidelines up for what you want to search for, you can actually select those and then hit your search, and that will find it based off of your reference that you put in for those files. So those are just a few different ways that you can organize your drive. Another thing that you can do is if you want to change the color of a folder that you have listed. So by default, they make it like a dark grayish color here. So if you right click on that, you can actually come up and change the color pretty easily. Just right click, select the color, and it'll change it for you. So those are just some of the easy functions that you can help with your organizing your Google Drive.